It's been a terrific performance collectively. We've been speaking about this pack mentality now for a while. And I just think a great plaudits are going to go to the mindset of the group that we've adopted. I think it's wonderful to see how we bowled the other night. You know, all three of them were very potent, all had an impact and asking questions and creating chances. So, yeah, very happy to see that. And I think just what I have to say, I think the curator here has produced a belter of a wicket. I mean, it's got to be said. It's a wicket that's got a little bit more pace and bounce, good consistent carry, and it brings up quicks right in it. You know, so. And hence to say that's why batters have been piling on the runs as well.
Coach, a few days ago, Steve said that they all are inspired by the players, and especially for you in the social media and cricketing fraternity. How it feels to be appreciated for you?
You know, as coaches, we're not here to get pats on the back. We're here to make an impact. You know, you can only, as I said in so many interviews before, you can sell a product, and if players don't believe in buying into that product or at least trying it, then they're not interested. So what I can say is that it's wonderful to see how the group of guys, and I'm not just talking about the three that played the other night, I'm talking about the others that have been involved as well. You know, Hassan Mahmood, talk about the guys who haven't been here, Shariful, Khaled, all these guys. You know, they're all part of this journey that we're on. So yeah, it's very pleasing, and it's wonderful to see how we've adopted this new way of thinking and approach.
Well, change of head coach, like requesting your countryman, you're personally in charge in the dressing room.
So, well, I've been here now 12 months. So my work with that group and the stuff that I've done with them has never changed. When Hatu came in here, he's an attacking coach. He's an aggressive coach. That's my style as well. So I think what he's just come in and sell to the whole group as well is to take the game on, is to not be afraid to win. And I think that's a great message. And I think, yes, we you know, the best thing that could have happened in the two ODIs, although the second one wasn't completed, the pictures that you've seen is a great preparation for where we're going in a couple of months' time, in May, when we take the same team on at Chelmsford in England. Because there we're going to get the same sort of wicket. It's going to come on, the spinners, it will not spin much. So I think this is awesome preparation for where we're going later on when there are points at stake. So look, Hatu's been brilliant around the group. He has expressed his freedom to the group, and I think that they have just sort of unshackled themselves and just, you know, played aggressive cricket.
So you can say your coaching style and his philosophy?
I think since I was about 16, 17, my mindset's never changed. And that's to be aggressive, but also for someone to give me a role that's expansive, to go and do what I do best. And that's exactly what I've done to the bowling group. And I think it's, you know, I think it's wonderful to see how they've gone on about it.
Which, now we're in great form, batting and bowling, but what are the areas we need to improve in the way?
Well, there's always improvement, isn't it? It's just, there's one word, and that's consistency. Great teams get judged on consistency, and now we've got a bit of a run. You know, there's always either from a technical perspective or a tactical perspective where we can get better at. Yes, the 70s and the 90s must become 120s. And go big and take us to 380, 400. But one thing I'd love to see now, when we've got that little bit of belief now, we've got belief and we've got consistency. You know, beating India, beating England in the T20s, and hopefully we can close the deal tomorrow out here. So for me, the one thing I'm looking at, like I've been working on with the bowling group, is consistency and success. So we're slowly but surely getting there, but it's a long road ahead. So yeah, the one area is, yeah, let's get consistent with our wins.
My question is here that Bangladesh has a test against Ireland in April, and in the next month we are going to have a two in the same country. So how much these three important players are important for the national team rather than the IPL during these two important series?
Nafiz, you can answer that. Yeah, look, I'm not pretty sure. To be honest with you, I'm not quite sure when they leave and when we'll see them again, or when we'll see them in Chelmsford. That I'm not sure. I keep my nose out of that stuff. My job is to work here, and that's about it. So I'm not really going to elaborate on that. And when players go and come back, I'm not sure. To be blunt honest with you, that's my answer. I'm not sure when we'll see them.
Coach, he must be in consideration for that World Cup squad as well. But what are the areas he still needs to take us
Well, he's blown the house down. From the moment I met him in Johannesburg, Pretoria, exactly 12 months ago, and he's kept on being impressive. And if you say there's one area that he needs to work on, I'm still trying to find that area. But what is pleasing for me is that Eberdot is always in the game. He's always in the game. It doesn't matter if he goes for 4 or for 6. You know that he's in the wickets column every single game. And he's that kind of bowler that is up there 145, 148 at times, where you know that pace factor will have a massive impact on the game. And he showed that again the other night. So for me, I mean, he's impressive. He's an athlete. He's got a great engine on him, and he's a great kid to work with, the Select Rocket. So I love working with him. I think he's a wonderful talent. From a guy who's won a fast bowling competition to where he is now, he could consistently becoming a member of all 3 formats in the game. So I stay close to, not just to him, but to all of them. You know, we're working on small things, more tactical than anything else. The one thing that we want to, it's our game intelligence that we work on every single time in all 3 formats. So, and I think that's where we need to get better at as a group.
Last 3 questions.
Alan, I'm not last year. So, at the time of joining this job, where did you see them and now where they are? Can you please elaborate the differences?
Bowling group?
Yes,
Yeah, so when I first met this group, and you know, you don't want to just come in and ask questions. For me, it was to sit back and just listen, and then to ask questions. And on a personal level, to ask every single person or every individual where their game's at, what do they need from me, what do they think the group needs to do better, and then I think that once we started to offload the shackles of the fear of failure, the fear of disappointment, more worried about the outcome than competing. So at this level, if you're worried about you're going to get picked again tomorrow, you're in the wrong place. So we needed to get that way of thinking out the window. So for me then, I could then focus on mindset. What is, at this level, it's all about mindset. It's all about fiercely being competitive, fiercely. And I think it took me, I reckon, 4 or 5 months for the group to trust me in that thing. So my message was always been clear. They don't have to worry about what I think in the stands, because I've been there, I've made mistakes. And it's absolutely fine to make mistakes and make plenty. But I think the more that got rid of it, this is the growth that we've seen now that's coming through, is now we're aggressive, we're taking the game on, we're taking our position on, we're competing in the right areas, and that is, like I said earlier, I could only sell people a plant, but if they don't like it and they don't want to try it, then it's not going to end so well. But the pleasing thing is right now there's a great sense of belief in this group, and to expand this group even further would be even better, to go and find some more youngsters that we can take forward, and so that we can start rotating. You know, we can start rotating players, we can start rotating bowlers, and see who's got what. But the nice thing is now there's a sense of dovetailing. When I say dovetailing, everyone, you know, if Eberdot is not going to have a good day, then well, Tuscan will be there for you. You know, so it's nice to see that this pack mentality and the way we cover for each other is starting to have a wonderful impact.
Coach, this is Sher-e possible to score against Irish bowling by Bangladeshi bowler, Bangladeshi batters?
No, absolutely no doubt. You know, if you see in the first game, there's some guys that got on to 90. A couple of guys made 70, and Mushi obviously converted magnificent knock the other day. Yes, of course, we want to take those partnerships deeper. We want to make the herd feel even more, and take Ireland to the last 10 with 7 wickets in hand or 6 wickets in hand, so we can pile it on. So yes, we know that we can stretch those partnerships even more. And I've said it before, it's an absolute, for me it's almost like a South African type of surface, where it comes on, it slides on even better at night when there's dew around, so it quickens up. But I think it just allows for good stroke play, and if you get in here, you've got to fill your boots. It's as simple as that. So yes, it's achievable. It definitely is achievable, and I think that you know, we just need those partnerships to get bigger and bigger and take it deeper.
Last question.
I've been involved in the World Cup in 2011 in India, and I can tell you there are not many wickets in the World Cup spun. So we need to, on our journey to the World Cup, need to play on wickets like this, where it's going to skid on. It's because then you don't have to change the mindset or the mentality or the approach. It pretty much stays like it is out here. I think the wickets are going to be like here. Wankiri, it doesn't matter where you play. They're all very, very good pitches, made for high scores. So I think what we take here from here on to Chelmsford and Afghanistan later on, and I think New Zealand before the World Cup, I think, or Asia Cup, wickets in Pakistan are going to be absolutely gunned. So our approach, we know where we stand in terms of our approach. So it's going to come down to the very fine margins in the World Cup. And I'm talking about the skill of death bowling. Death bowling is going to be absolutely key. The ball will reverse in India, there's no question about it. It will reverse in Pakistan, there's no question. So I think that's where we've been working on for so hours in the nets, bowling at balls and bats and tires and stuff like that. So we want to be ready for it comes down to the nitty gritty when it really matters. So
Using the old balls
old ball bowling for us is going to be absolutely key. And you need a group of guys who can do it. You can't just rely on Fizz or Taskin. We need Hassan, we need Eberdot, we need Sher-e to be upskilled there. So.
Thank you. About taking care of the balls as a team.
Oh yeah, of course, looking after the ball. Yeah, I mean, so on those types of squares in India, where obviously a lot of traffic will be, the ball will get quite abrasive, and when the time comes, and especially you're dealing with two balls, when the time comes to when it does reverse, we need to be on it.
Thank you.